Shri Rajesh Aggarwal, Secretary, Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, Government of India, who has joined us to make a special address to this session on enabling a futuristic skilling ecosystem. Welcome, sir, and the floor is open, sir, for your address.
This talk is about education and skills because I'm told let's worship Brahma as the creator of life, and at the same time we worship Vishwakarma as the creator of material things. And our ancient universities, be it Takshila or Nalanda or others, they attracted students, teachers, visitors from all over the globe. And they taught not only philosophy and maths, but also skills needed at that time. So we were renowned not only for intellectual skills in philosophy, languages, including most scientific grammar systems, Panini, etc., so astronomy, and so on, but we were known for highest workmanship for textiles, metallurgy, woodwork, gems and jewelry, masonry, small cities, sculpture, music, surgery, and so on. So best in the world by global standards at that time. So Mohenjo-daro was first smart city uh, by standards of that time. And we had highest global per capita and exports, per capita GDP and exports. But unfortunately, more than centuries of British Raj, they decimated us in all these aspects, including our pride in our culture and language. So after independence, the focus was on renewing that pride in our culture, in our language, and also on rebuilding the nation. So roads, powers, dams, manufacturing, all these required huge number of engineers and technicians. So IITs and ITIs came up in the 50s and 60s. So we needed not only scientists and engineers, but also industrial quality electricians, plumbers, welders, machine workers, foundries, and so on. In the last 2 decades, the focus in jobs again shifted from manufacturing to secondary sector, IT, finance, and so on. But COVID has again showed all the nations that global supply chains can be fragile. And being Atmanirbhar or self-sufficient is necessary for all the nations. So India has now also gone for high value addition in whether it is steel manufacturing or pharma or now even fab units and so on. And the PLI production linked incentive schemes are now seeing a lot of projects, a lot of investments across all these sectors. So the job market has been very dynamic. So the 90s saw IT coding and BPO boom. Now we see a lot of traction in healthcare, including geriatric healthcare, because demography of the world is changing. Japan, Korea, Europe, they are becoming old, so average age is increasing too. So geriatric healthcare is becoming extremely important. So logistics has become very important. Gig economy is mainly packaging and deliveries. The tourism and hospitality, again, big pickup after the COVID is over. The aviation industry is on a boom. Fashion design, green jobs now, in solar, wind, EV, battery, hydrogen, etc. So that is where the jobs are now. And when we talk of Industry 4.0, we talk about AI and robotics, we talk about IoT, we talk about additive manufacturing or 3D printing of not only plastics or resin, but also metals, drones, renewable energy. So Industry 4.0 is a sort of combo of all these. These days, when I participate in a lot of conferences on skills and education, there's a lot of talk on 3D, the demographics, the decarbonization and digitization. The changing demographics and decarbonization, that is green jobs that I talked about a little bit. So now digital, they are becoming more and more important. So soft skills like logical thinking, English language, communication skills, teamwork, EQ, these are becoming more and more important. So earlier, when we used to talk to employers, or the HR agencies that what do employees look for in a student or even potential employer? And the answer was confidence, confidence, confidence. So in schools and colleges, sometimes we focus purely on hard skills, on the subjects. The employers want confidence, confidence, confidence. And after COVID, the answer has changed quite dramatically actually. Now you talk to any employer, that what do you look at the student? And they say it is ability to learn and unlearn and relearn very quickly, and an ability to adapt to new situations. So that is what should we focus in our whole education and skilling system. So our schools and universities and IITs and ITIs, they should produce not only job seekers, but also job givers. The Honorable Prime Minister repeatedly talks about this. So creating an entrepreneurship, basic business skills or entrepreneurship attitude amongst the students, giving them exposure to world of work and business skills like procurement of raw materials, balance, marketing. So all of this is very important. So since a lot of people from education system are here, I must also talk about very little women participation in our STEM courses and practically all across the sectors. Many glass ceilings still remain to be broken. When I joined IIT Delhi in 1983 in computer science, we had only one girl in our batch. So after 27 years, my daughter joined in Delhi College, computer science. She was the only girl in her batch. So nothing changed over the years. So we need to dramatically change this. And this is not only true for higher level courses or even C-level positions in corporations, but even in things like tailoring, cooking, the high level positions are with the men. So chefs in five-star hotels, the master G in tailor shop who is higher paid than the tailors, they are men. So we need to change all of this. So and all of us need to work together on those issues. We have more than a crore workers overseas, and apart from that, we are getting now massive offshore jobs. As I said earlier, we are becoming now much better than just BPO jobs in offshoring. Best of AR, VR work, AV, animation, media, comics, gaming, media. So Bahubali, etc., they broke the barriers in CGI effects. Avatar 2, which is launching soon, that has a lot of special effects done in our country. Of we have chip design. A lot of these engineers actually work it out of India, and we are working with a lot of employers overseas and our 15 main embassies abroad on course harmonization. So global trade licenses available here and so on. And it requires basically all ITIs, IITs, NITs, regular universities, skills universities, even schooling system all to work together. And it's actually very true that we have a major disconnect of our education system with the job role requirements. Our engineers and technicians, after spending 2 years, 4 years, they turn out to be unemployed. You talk to any employer and they say we have to basically retrain the guy that the guy to meet our requirements. So embedded apprenticeships, including digital intern, supervisors and managers to our engineering colleges and skill centers. Now UGC and DIC talking of professors of practice, that you need not be PhD to teach in a college, but you can be an industry flow supervisor or owner or whatever, and you are welcome to teach in our best of universities and colleges. So that's the need of the hour. And the new education policy does talk about this a little, quite a bit actually. So the new NCF framework which is being designed is totally focused on this. And we all in the education system now have to walk the talk together. So I am working very closely as secretary skills, with secretaries of school education and higher education, with the three regulators, UGC, ICT, and NCVT. So we are all working very closely together for a unified credit framework so that across the system, credits should flow seamlessly. There should be multiple exit entry options. And skills in education and education in skills, both are important. So our skilling students in ITIs or diploma courses or polytechnics, they should parallelly get 12th class certification or even graduation. So we have tied up with Open School and IGNOU and so many other boards. And it has to be vice versa. A student doing BA, BSc, etc., he or she should be able to get basically skill certifications in parallel. And if you have been reading the newspapers in the last few days, even for Agniveer scheme, we are talking about enabling them to earn skills and education certificates while actually doing that for a 4 years tour of duty. So a student working in industry or in army or wherever, they should also have this opportunity to parallelly earn the credits in the skills and education system. One or two more points from my side. 2-3 months ago, I virtually attended a conference for education also. It was very interesting to see students and going one. They said the world has changed dramatically in last 10 years, 20 years. Our education systems globally are not changing that fast. And they said our syllabus, our whole classroom design, that is being designed by 60-year-old people, 70-year-old people. And they were saying basically that you dinosaurs, you stay away from us, you mentor us, but don't prescribe basically a solution for us which was valid 50 years ago, but which is not valid for the youth of today. So we must hear the voices of the youth, and obviously we must hear the voices of the industry who have to give jobs to the youth, and the school system, the university system, our skilling system, that has to adopt very rapidly. The changes in syllabus, the changes in labs, the way we appoint teachers, the way we design classrooms. Classrooms traditionally are designed like prisons, frankly. The student is forcibly made to sit for 1 hour in a very classroom kind of fashion, which is not actually very conducive to a two-way communication. So those things we need to talk about very openly and bring out those changes. And the skills and education and the industry, which have been sort of three axes which are not meeting together, we all have to work together to produce students who are actually job ready when they come out. And again, which do not bind them to just one line of career for their next 30, 40 years, but which provide them pathways to basically keep on learning new things, keep on changing jobs, and then ultimately finding jobs which fit their passion and their capability. So my best wishes to all, and let's all work together to build a new India and a new world order. Thank you so much.